The lip sync in general, I feel like it's just gonna be very controversial with the fan base. All right, y'all, Drag Race episode 5. I'm excited about this episode, but also, once again, it made me sad. Every single episode this season, like, it's too much because everybody's too lovable, but we have IHOP. We're gonna get into this first. I know I had IHOP last video. The IHOP eggs are really getting me, but I got French toast this time instead of waffle. They have good French toast at IHOP. There's getting to be a smell. That's the only thing about French toast. French toast does like this smell thing that can easily make me sick. And then look at this water. Look at this water. And then I got hash brown and eggs. Let's take a bite of the eggs. I love their eggs so much. So good. They just make good eggs. I love French toast. Wow! That's good. Ooh, that's really freaking good. That water. I'm telling you, when you have something that's bready, if you don't have water, literally, what are you gonna do? You're gonna choke. Yum. Water's literally so good. Okay, let's get started. Q is crying about not winning. I'm telling you, that Jan edit is coming in strong, but like at this point the season is filmed, what can she do? But it's like, I feel like from watching the seasons past, the last thing I would want to do is say something that's going to give me the Jan edit. Even if at times my feelings are valid, nobody wants the Jan or Lucy edit. I understand her feelings, but I think there's a time and a place and you need to read the room. Realistically, whatever she's gonna say is just gonna sound like the least of their worries, the least of their issues, because one of their friends just left. So you talking about how you're not winning yet, even though you've been consistently at the top, it's really not gonna land well. Like, if people are not really gonna hear you as valid as your feeling could be. Now, could she have been told to say it? Absolutely. Sometimes the producers tell them to bring up stuff, they're told to talk about this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you could also say no. But girl, I mean, I don't know. It just felt like it was in poor taste in that moment. And like, I was mad. Like, I had to agree with Plain. Like, who knew I would agree with Plain? Like, Plain was like, I'm not gonna sulk. I actually feel very happy with where I am. And in my head, I'm thinking like, yes, Plain has won one, but Q, like, somebody just went home and you weren't even in the consideration for going home. Before Gru came in to give him the challenge, they're all around the table, whatever, talking. Once again, Plain is talking to Amanda and Amanda is quick. I'm like, girl, don't even talk to her, because she wasn't really being shady. She kind of was being shady, but wasn't that bad. But I'm like, don't even talk to her because she's quicker than you. Plain said something like, Amanda, like, you're so pretty like this, or pretty without your makeup, or something like that. And then Amanda said, oh, well, Jane, something, something, something. And then Plain was like, it's Plain. And Amanda said, well, it is Plain. Girl, she's quick. Amanda's quick because, and then honestly, when she said that, it kind of resonated. It kind of rang true because I'm like, girl, it is a little bit Plain. Like, the thing is, Amanda may look a mess sometimes, but Plain's aesthetic for me is a little bit plain compared to, like, we have people like Nymphia and Q and also Saphira. Like, it is a little bit plain. It's like, girl, don't give her no reason to read you back. Why are you trying to read somebody that can easily read you back? And then on top of it, you're not even like a funny reader, so it's not even like y'all are just really going bar for bar. Like, Whoa! Anyways, Gru comes in, they're assigned girl groups, they're picking teams. Somebody has to be picked last. Like, Megami was, upset about her being picked last. With every time they do teams, somebody's gonna have to be picked last, but she gutted me for real. You can tell when a deep wound is reopened. You can just see it all over somebody's face. It may have seemed like something that's very small, but when she started talking about, like, she just feels like she's always kind of like pushed to the back and picked last. Girl, and I told y'all I'd be ready to cry. She started talking about it. Now my eyes are welling up right now. She started talking about it and I literally had to turn away from the screen. I'm like, I can't even look at her face. Like, girl, I'm crying with her. Tears running down my face. Oh, these eggs. Why should eggs be so good? It's just eggs. And they're so good. Also, the edit cannot trick me about Nymphia. I feel like they keep trying to like present her as silly and acting a fool. And then when it comes time to performance, like that's only the time like when she pulls it together. And then all the other girls are like, oh yeah, Nymphia's definitely playing mind games. She's definitely playing the game. I really don't think she's playing mind games at all. I think she's very clear that she was talented from the very beginning. Girl, it's obvious. She came in, her intro, she had a really fire look. I thought her look was so good. Then she did a dance talent, a very serious dance talent at that. Very technical, you can tell she's trained, like, girl, so we knew she could dance. Granted, is it a different style of dance? Yes, but we knew she could dance. Not all the queens saw it, but half of them did. And they could easily say like, oh no, we've seen Nymphia dance before. Like, I really don't think she's playing mind games. They were trying to make it seem like that I guess she didn't want to choreograph in the beginning, and then she stepped in and like started helping with the choreography, because Maya on the page, she's quiet. She's trying to give them the steps. They're like, huh? They're like, girl, can we even hear you? Nymphia had her little K-pop group, so she's like, I can maybe help and blah, 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 and help make the girl group look girl groupy. But I don't think it's like a thing of she was hiding her talents and didn't want to choreograph. I think that she's just goofy and didn't plan on choreographing. That's what it looked like to me. Being a dancer doesn't always mean that you want to choreograph. I danced for years. I would rather show up and learn the choreography. If you ask me to choreograph, I'm probably gonna say who else, get somebody else to do it. So it wasn't really shocking to me that she wasn't choreographing at first, because everybody who can dance don't want to choreograph. But she saw that maybe the group needed a little bit more direction and she stepped in. I don't really think she's playing a mind game. Also, I'm not there. I don't know what she's saying to the behind the scenes. I don't know if she's saying, oh, I'm scared of the challenge. I don't know what she's saying, but from a viewer standpoint, I don't really think she's playing mind games or hiding her talent. Then boom, they're getting ready. Q comes over and she's like, oh, you know, I feel like you were kind of rude when I was expressing my feelings, and Plain is like, well, you know, I definitely have more respect for you than I have for Amanda. This is what I'm talking about too, because there was really no point in that moment for her to mention Amanda's name. Amanda like snapped on her, then she's like, girl, calm down, it's just a little fun shade. One thing I can't stand is a calm down, I was just joking kind of person, because I'm sorry, that's just a cover. Y'all don't be joking. Like, I feel like people who say calm down, I was just joking, y'all don't be joking. It's just when you get the backlash, people like to backpedal. Y'all don't have the relationship for it to be fun shade. What has been fun about y'all's relationship? Nothing. How could you possibly have fun shade for each other? Y'all not cool like that. A lot of people like to just give this excuse of like, well, I mean, the thing is, Plain is right. Like she's just reading Amanda, like all the stuff she's saying is factual. She's just speaking the truth. She's just speaking the truth. I feel like I'm hearing a lot of that. No, because in this moment, this wasn't about Amanda's looks. This wasn't about Amanda's runway. She decided to bring up Amanda's name for whatever reason. I don't know Plain, but she decided to just bring up her name when she knows that they've had a really difficult dynamic, when she knows that they've had tension. I know some people are gonna say it's good TV, it's good TV. I don't know if it's good TV. I feel like I'm not sure if I enjoy her as a villain. For example, Gia Gunn was such a good villain. I enjoyed her. She got on my nerves, but it felt so genuine. I'm like, this is just who Gia Gunn is. Like, Bob the Drag Queen was talking about this and I really agreed. I'm like, with Plain, it just seems like trying to stir up a pot for good TV. Thus, it doesn't feel like good TV. It feels very contrived. It's just not good, interesting shade to me. Also, another thing I want to address that I'm seeing online is sometimes I really don't understand this fan base, or not even just this fan base, but people online, because what are y'all talking about? And then y'all get a slew of comments that agree with you, so then you feel even more confident in what you're saying. I saw a slew of comments saying, Dawn is the real instigator. Dawn is the real instigator. I be wondering if we're watching the same show, because what are y'all talking about? Just because Dawn has said something prior to does not mean she's responsible for instigating Plain's rudeness towards Amanda. She cannot make Plain be rude. A lot of them are saying, well, she instigated when Plain first read Amanda talking about, I'm waiting for your looks to sway me, I'm waiting for your looks to sway me. No, I don't think she instigated it. She was talking to Plasma, who she's cool with. She told her she didn't like her look in a nice, actually funny way. Plasma received it well. Plain took it upon herself to come across the room, to come to Amanda and say that she doesn't like what she did that day and she doesn't like any of her drag ever. If y'all call that instigation, and then even if Dawn does bring up something that they start talking about, I don't think that bringing up a topic is instigating. One, the producers tell them to bring stuff up. I'm sorry, that's just so weird to me. I'm like, y'all be saying weird stuff sometimes. Like, I think people form their own stories in their head to get entertainment, maybe. Okay, then it was time for performances. First group comes on. I was proud of Morphine because she captured my attention from the beginning. She comes out with a fan kick sustain. She sustained that leg in the air for a little bit. I'm like, okay, that was a really clean fan kick. And then her performance was really good. And I was wondering from the beginning, because in the first episode, I think, or no, the second episode, because we got the second group of queens, Maya was like, oh, you know, I don't think Morphine's really a performer. She doesn't really perform, da-da-da-da. She was performing. Morphine can dance and she has stage presence. And I was really happy. Like I said, I'm really happy seeing her come into her own. Even her runway, the silhouette she gave with her runway, I feel like it was a more elevated look than we even saw from her in the first couple episodes. I feel like she's coming into her own. She gave me something unique on the runway. She gave me a good performance. Like, I'm loving this for Morphine right now. But let me say, Dawn was my favorite of that group. I think Dawn looked adorable. She captured girl group in her Dawn fantasy way and brought it to that stage and just lit it up. I think she's like such a joy to watch. I feel like those teachers, when they do evaluations for their students and they're like, a joy to teach. But no, she was so cute. Her makeup super cute. Even though Michelle was like, oh, I want to like not see the elf ears next week, I thought the elf ears was so cute for the girl group. The furry hair ties that she had gave the minute I saw her, I'm like, this gives Spice Girl. I'm so glad the judges said it because it gave so Spice Girl. Super cute outfit. I also liked how she was dancing. And then after she did her verse, when they did a little walk to the right, she was eating that walk up. I just feel like all eyes were on Dawn. Morphine came out and she ate, yes, but then once Dawn started, I'm like, Dawn has my full attention. Her verse was cute. Didn't you know there's life on Mars? I loved it. Q, this was not Q's week. I thought she did so bad. And then, you know, but what really disappointed me though, I hated her wig, and then I did not like them tights. The tights looked yellow up against her skin. And for me, it was very strange because Q is very put together. I said this from my first video. When Q first came out, she gave very polished queen, like we're unclockable, like Trinity the Tuck. When Trinity steps out on that stage, there is not a single thing you can find wrong. It does not matter what she's wearing. Like everything is put together to a T. The breastplate is matching, the tights are everything is matching. So to see Q come out, it just seemed like such a simple, like weird mistake for her to make because she always looks good. Her looks are always good. Her hair, so like, in like the wig, it was like short on the side and it had like a little curly, but it was like stiff. I'm like, oh no, I think this looks so bad. I thought she looked, I did not like how she looked. And of course we know she can't really dance. So it was just like very stiff, which if a queen can't dance, she can't control it. What I think personally, they should have given her a simplified choreography. What they gave her probably was simplified, but I think maybe it should have been a lot of posing and looking and pointing and like something that she really, don't give her no movement. Like she maybe didn't need to have any movement. I'm trying in rehearsal, she's walking when they're doing the walk to the front of the stage and the girls are like, girls giving Frankenstein. And it was. I'm sorry, this was not Q's week. Love her down. I think she can turn a look. I think she's entertaining, but not her week. The second group comes out. Plasma looked drop dead gorgeous, okay? She doesn't get cute, she gets drop dead gorgeous. First of all, the look that she had on, that black cat suit with like the mesh cutouts, I thought it was gorgeous and I think it looked really good on her. And I think it was a really good choice for a girl group because when she started, it very much was like, like this is my group. I'm the front girl of this group. That wig too. Did y'all see the way that wig literally looked like it was growing out of her scalp? I would love for her to post a video of her installing that wig because it looked so good. Not only was the quality of the hair good, the color was cute. Now Amanda, Amanda ate this challenge, period. I don't care what anybody says. Her performance was amazing. She can dance and she can perform, but the padding was wrinkly and the hair was getting in her face. I didn't see it during the performance because, you know, they cut away from things, they changed things around, but when the judges were giving their critiques, they showed a shot of her padding and it did look kind of wrinkly and lumpy and I'm like, ooh. And the wig was getting on my nerves. I feel like it was holding her back too because she had to keep flipping it out of her face. By the second time she flipped it out of her face, I said, this isn't good. The judges are gonna remember that. Doing one flip may be cool. 2 flips, no. 3, you in danger, girl. Like, I knew it wasn't good. It was kind of getting on my nerves because I'm like, girl, why'd you wear this wig? Like, why didn't you wear one that stays at your, do you see Plasma's wig? It's moving, but it's not moving. Like, it's not stiff, but it's not flying everywhere. Like, no. And I didn't want them to have any reason to put her in the bottom, so it kind of made me sad, especially because I feel like this is a week that should have easily been Amanda's week. Like, Amanda could have really taken the cake because I personally thought, and y'all know this, from My Kitty, when she performed My Kitty and Everybody Pay Her Dust, I'm like, I love her as a performer. I can't wait for her to do something like this again. And I feel like this was a time, but like minor stuff kind of like didn't let her really shine the way she could have shined. Even though I feel like she did amazing. I feel like she danced, she performed. You could not clock her on the choreography. You couldn't clock her on her lyrics. Now the third group was edited in this episode to be the underdogs. You know they wanted it to seem like that. Megami was in that group. She was kind of being sad about being last. Geneva was in that group. She was in the bottom last week. Maya has kind of been in the bottom. Nymphia was the only one in that group who has not been considered an underdog. The minute that music started and they did everybody moved in their way and did the da-na, they had my attention because I said, this looks like a girl group. It gave very much like R&B pop girl group from the jump. And then Maya's verse,
my easy, you make me feel like a dainty lady, high heel boots straight out of Haiti, so 305, so day county with my steak ass walk, you know I'm crazy. Maya.
So good. She had me the minute she did that front row. I'm like, why did I forget that Maya's a performer? Like I kept thinking like, oh, this week a man's gonna eat. I'm forgetting about Maya, but I think I forgot about Maya because she's kind of quiet. But she woke me up though. Also, I didn't know she was Haitian. But you know what? It kind of makes sense though. Because she did say earlier she's from Miami. It's Haitians all through Miami. My mom grew up in Dade County. When she said so 305 so Dade County, I'm like, oh my gosh. Who's texting me? Girl, both my managers. I've been singing that verse every day since I've seen the episode. I'm not kidding. Like, it was so good. She did the back handspring step out like it was nothing. Like, she's very comfortable on stage. She was it for me. Maya did her part and I said, this group has won. There's nothing, nobody could top this. A lot of people kept saying, seeing stuff online where people were like, oh, the first group was the real winners or something like that. I don't know which group they were saying. I'm like, are y'all joking? I'm beginning to question your taste. The third group was undeniably the best group of the night, like objectively. And the Maya, genius. For an ASMR song, to be whispering her name like that my easy. It's literally so good. Nymphia came in with her part, giving very soft, giving very sensual, like she whacked her legs open. I thought she looked so good too. Also, I heard Megami like wrote, I think almost all their verses. I at least know she wrote Nymphia's, but basically she did a lot of the writing. And I feel like this is redemption for her because she was picked last and then came in their team and like was a powerhouse. Because out of everybody, out of all the groups, I remember the lyrics of the third group out of anybody. I'm not singing the songs of the first two groups. I'm not singing it. Granted, part of why I'm singing the third group song is because the ASMR euphoria. That's just a bop on its own. Rue knows how to make good music. Like, that song is good. Is that song on Spotify? Honestly, I would listen to it every day. Anyway, besides the fact that I just like that song, I remember their verses because they were good. Megami is really good with like all her wordplay. Just good. And then also, I liked her performance too. I didn't know how she was gonna be in like a dancing, singing, kind of like performance. But I thought she kind of ate. I didn't know what to expect from her at all. But like, she gave Megami, but like with a little bit of extra attitude. I'm like, I love seeing this redemption for her because she went from feeling like unwanted and not accepted. And I think that's what it was for me. When she was talking about it, that was like making me emotional too. I don't know why it makes me emotional when I think about it. I don't know why. I think it's just when I see somebody like talking about something that you can tell is a deep wound, it really hits me. I think feeling unloved in any way, even if it's something small like being picked last for something, I personally think the deeper part of that is feeling not accepted or unwanted. So it made me really happy in this episode, and I'm glad the producers edited it this way. It made me really happy seeing her from the beginning and feeling that way, and then at the end, coming in that group and writing those verses and doing so well, and then the group winning. Like, I love seeing that story. Girl, I can't be crying with y'all, for real. Like, y'all gonna think I'm ridiculous. It's like, why is she crying? And then a lot of people were saying that they didn't deserve to win, like, as a group. I definitely do think that they did. I think Maya and Nymphia were the strongest. When I look back on the whole thing, I genuinely enjoyed the group. With each verse, I'm like, I'm living for this. They gave all kind of different levels. Like, each of them gave me 4 different things. And then on the other hand, I'm seeing, like, Nymphia deserved it. Nymphia deserved the win on her own. That is Maya Iman LePage erasure to say that Nymphia just deserved to win on her own. If we do want to break it down and say who should have won, we could at most take it to a double win between Nymphia and Maya. But I really don't think Nymphia took it in the way that y'all think. She did amazing. She was one of my favorites of the group, but I'm sorry, you can't tell me that Maya didn't have you from the minute she did that front row onto the stage. She was so good. When y'all say stuff like that, it be making me think something. I'm not gonna say too much, but it be making me think something when people say stuff like that. But no, I definitely think the whole group deserved the win. We're not gonna act like Maya didn't perform her butt off. Then it came to runways. The category was Pussycat Wigs. Dawn's look, I love Dawn's look. Here's my thing, once again, I like to see what Dawn is gonna do because Dawn is living in Dawn's world. Her interpretation of everything is so fun. I love that the pussycat, it was like very tall and it was like a bang, but then you turn it to the back and it's a pussycat wig. And then on top of that, her outfit, I love that outfit. It was very like maximalist, Lisa Frank fantasy. Amanda, I knew she was going home the minute she stepped out on that runway. I love Amanda so much, and I was sad because I didn't, first of all, somebody gave me a spoiler and told me she was going home before I watched the episode, which may I say that is such weird behavior to spoil something for somebody online. People who spoil stuff and think it's like funny and cute, I think you're so weird for that. I didn't want to believe it, and my thing is, I'm not just gonna believe anybody I see on the internet. So in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. They could be telling the truth, but they also could be lying because I don't know them. Knowing what the challenge was and then seeing Amanda in rehearsals, I'm like, there's no way she could do bad. She's doing so good right now. Then when I saw her in her challenge, the padding was lumpy and the wig was getting in her face, and then she came out on that runway, I knew it was it for her. Now, Michelle Visage was saying she didn't see how it gave Pussycat. I thought that was kind of crazy because it's obviously a Pussycat wig. Amanda obviously has a Pussycat wig on. Like, are you joking? I feel like there's other things wrong with that outfit, but it not being a Pussycat wig is not one of the things wrong with that outfit. And I kind of see where her concept was going with like the whole bird thing, because I feel like cats prey on birds. That's like a known thing. Like, cats be hunting birds. They be coming after birds. And I thought it was creative, but just because it was creative, that doesn't mean it can't still be bad. I thought the look was bad. I did not like the blue makeup and how it was splitting up her face. She has such a beautiful face. Blue makeup splitting it up, I thought it looked bad. And then like the two eggs next to her face, and then that thing around her head, it made her head look very disconnected from the rest of her body. I think if we're doing like a headpiece, it has to still look cohesive with the rest of the body. I did not like the silhouette of the dress, like it fanning up like that. At least not with those materials. I did not like how those materials looked on that dress with that silhouette. The shoes also had the little brown stuff on it and they looked fluffy in a weird way. It looked like a bad costume. I did not like it at all, and it made me honestly sad for her because I knew she was going home. It was bad, I think. Especially when you have somebody like Nymphia coming out. Nymphia, honestly, I feel like she sets the bars for these runways. Now, this here lip sync, I feel like the lip sync in general, I feel like it's just gonna be very controversial with the fan base, because this is one of those times it's very difficult. And that's why sometimes the concept of lip syncing for your life on Drag Race, for all the seasons that I've watched it, sometimes it doesn't make sense to me in regards of who should go home and who should stay sometimes. I don't always love it, because now sometimes it's great because the person who's like done so bad, they go on that stage and they like leave it all on the floor and you're so excited that they did so well and that they got to stay. But I feel like that's only effective when both queens maybe have a similar track record or did similarly bad that week. When you have a queen whose track record is amazing and then you have a queen whose track record is not amazing but slays the lip sync, how do you settle with who should go home? By the rules of the lip sync, whoever slays the lip sync should stay. But thinking realistically in my head, sending a queen home who has the better track record, who has so much more to do in this competition, it doesn't make sense. But that's why that's why I struggle. Sometimes I struggle with the concept of a lip sync, because see, last episode, Mirage and Geneva, I feel like Mirage did have a better track record than Geneva, but I feel like it wasn't that much better. It was better, but it wasn't that much better, because the week before in the design challenge, I thought Mirage did bad, Geneva did bad. Like, Mirage's talent was obviously amazing when they did the talent show, and then she didn't know the words. So it was understandable why, even though Mirage had the slightly better track record, that she went home, because it wasn't too much of a difference. Q's track record and Amanda's track record are very different. Q has done very well and consistently been in the top. Has Amanda been in the bottom? She's been in the bottom and she's been safe. She hasn't been in the bottom too. This is her first time lip syncing. There's a lot of different directions you can go with a lip sync. You can either be a really good dancer, a really good lip syncer, and like you're dancing, you know all the words, you're giving us like a fierce performance. Some people go like the comedy, funny, theatrical route. I felt like Amanda went more so like the dance, I'm gonna give a fierce performance route, and Q went more the theatrical, I'm gonna try to give comedy route, which it was okay. She wasn't super funny to me. When queens go to the comedy route during a lip sync, they have to make it really, really funny. Yeah, so Q was going that route. She was giving something. I don't think her lip sync was completely weak, but I don't think it was amazing. Amanda knew her words. She's dancing. She's giving performance. I thought she did great. I didn't love how her skirt kind of started to lift up, so we're seeing her underwear, and then she did like this huge fan peek on the floor and you're seeing underwear. For me, sometimes when we start seeing undergarments and lip syncs, it starts to look a little sloppy, and I don't think that the judges like that either. I don't think that they like that. Because they've also talked about like, when you're doing a lip sync, stop taking off articles of clothing unless it's like for a reveal or it's to help you move better, like whatever. But I can't lie and say that I don't think Amanda did better in Q in the lip sync in general, because I do think that she did better. I do think Amanda had the better lip sync. But I struggle with a queen who has been in the top. I don't know if, as much as I love Amanda, and I think Amanda slayed the lip sync, and I know that the lip sync rules are if you do better in the lip sync, you stay. Yes, 100% cool. I'm totally with that. But I don't know if I can reconcile that with the fact that Q has been in the top every single week. Q has been excelling in this competition. I personally don't think Q should go home just because she did bad in this one challenge. So it's just kind of hard. This season so far, like, just gutted and rotted, because it's like, why am I feeling so sad at these eliminations? Usually at the girls who get eliminated early, I'm usually not so connected to those queens. But it's like, I feel like I've been very connected to these queens who have gone home early. So it's just hard, because Amanda is the last person I wanted to see leave. Like, she is the perfect candidate for an all-star season. Like, I want her to like really like fine tune every single thing and come on All Stars and blow us all away. Cause I just feel like there's a lot more that she can give. But anyways, I'm supposed to have a vlog posted tomorrow. Ooh. I gotta edit 2 videos. That's cool. It's okay. This is my job. That's what I'm supposed to do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on my post notifications, okay? It's gonna be a new video every single Friday. A new Drag Race video every single Friday. But turn on the post notifications just in case you forget, so it'll pop up on your phone and be reminded. And I'll see you guys next Friday.